quiet summer night out west, a stage displays a tradition ringing out for more than 5 decades across these rolling hills of North Dakota.
Dakota, oh Dakota, by the heavens.
What makes the musical so special here?
I can't wait for you to see it so you can tell me, but I know from listening to customers what it is that you don't find this in very many places, if anywhere. You have this unique combination of history, education, and entertainment in just a gorgeous setting.
As president of the Theodore Roosevelt Medora Foundation, Randy Hatzenbuehler gets a front row seat each night to the story that has captured tourists in Medora, North Dakota for so long.
The Medora Musical is now in its 52nd season, and there are very, very few shows in the country that have got that long of a run, and surprisingly, it's still growing. It's just been a great run.
The Medora Musical came to life to commemorate a U.S. president who once fell in love with the West. Theodore Roosevelt first visited North Dakota's Badlands in 1883 to hunt bison. He was so taken by the lifestyle, he bought a stake in a ranch near Medora, where he would return to live life as a real cowboy.
Rough Riders, charge!
Decades later, they started to tell that story on stage in Medora.
The first version of it was in 1958. It was just dirt and benches, and that was to create a show called Old Four Eyes to celebrate the 100th birthday of Theodore Roosevelt. We honor the state of North Dakota. We honor the United States. There's always a very important patriotic element to our show, which when you've done it for 52 years, people know that you're not capitalizing on it. You are really proud of it and celebrating it.
It's easy to hear how far the show has come since the beginning, singing and dancing to modern country hits. Well, still, for 2.5 hours every night of the summer, telling an important story.
It's 100 nights, and for the very first time this year, the cast gets 1 night per month off. We call them golden nights instead of dark nights.
There's nothing like this anywhere else. It's a variety show, it's epic theater, it's historical drama. It's kind of like what if PBS did a musical review. It's kind of your old-fashioned variety show mixed with epic theater, mixed with historical drama, and it's its own animal.
The musical's producer-director, Walden, takes us behind the scenes to give us a closer look at the story and its history.
It's to preserve the history of the area, the colorful history of this area, and to take you back to a simpler time that you and your family can enjoy.
Walden knows that family piece of this musical well. He's been around for 33 years, starting in the 70s as one of the dozen what are called Burning Hill singers.
So I came out here and met my wife, fell in love with the area, had fun with the show, did the show for 2 years, and then 10 years later I came back.
Amarillo by morning, Amarillo on my mind.
And Walden's own son knows a thing or two about this musical. He's the star of the show this year.
This has been a whole family thing my whole life.
Meet Cowboy Chet.
We all live together and eat together and do everything together. Luckily, we get along.
And it's kind of fun being a cowboy, I bet, right?
Absolutely. I want to be a cowboy since I was a kid, yeah.
And finally.
And finally, a singing, dancing cowboy.
This isn't where the connections end in this story. That cowboy has carried on the tradition and started his own family here.
It's kind of a family affair. I'm married to Chet, which is the host this year, and we actually met doing a show a long time ago, but I worked for his dad, who is the producer and director as well. So I've just kind of I've known the family for a long time, and it's just a special place where Chet and I can, come out here and be together.
It's impossible to talk about this musical and not bring up another man who helped put Medora and this play on the map. Harold Shaeffer, a businessman who founded the Gold Seal Company and the maker of Mr. Bubble Bath. Much of his fortune went to the foundation to keep the Western culture alive. Shaeffer bought the Medora Musical in 1965 and the Burning Hills Amphitheater, a one-of-a-kind setting in the Badlands offering an amazing view beyond the stage.
It's 2,853 seats in a community of 112 people, and we will average over 1,100, almost 1,200 people a night at this production because it's just gotten a reputation over time. It's being a great show.
And without the support of Harold Shaeffer's wife, Shila, it's fair to say this show wouldn't be what it is today. Harold passed away in 2001, and Shila only recently. A special tribute to her now plays out on stage.
Anybody who's been in production and performance really understands when somebody loves what they're doing, and Shila had a way of inspiring the cast that way. So Harold and Shila were just an amazing couple for North Dakota, and especially for Medora.
Before the show, another special touch. You take your family to dinner just steps away at Pitchfork Steak Fondue, a full buffet and ribeye steaks cooked Western style with a pitchfork, of course. After my first few bites, I can tell you it is well worth the visit. It seems at every turn the Old West comes alive, complete with live horses joining the cast.
Not only are you leading trail rides, but you're busy behind the scenes of the Medora Musical as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I never thought I'd be riding a horse in a musical, but I came up here and they said, hey, could you run up on a hill and shoot your gun off on top of a horse? I said, I guess I've never done it before, but I'll give it a shot.
It's a special place for sure, and everybody seems to love it once they come through here. It's something like you'll never experience anywhere else, so we're very lucky to be here.
And for those in the seats, they feel lucky too.
It's no exaggeration. I've seen the Medora Musical close to 2,300 times. And I say that sometimes like maybe I should be embarrassed that how could you possibly go to something that often, and I still love it as much as the first night that I saw it.
So you ready for 2,301?
2,301, I can't wait.
That's our show, folks! Put your hands together.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Lifetouch, photography for a lifetime.